Bankruptcy is scary, but the real danger is what happens after you file. Most people think bankruptcy means the end of the road, the ultimate financial failure. But what if I told you that for many Americans, it's not an ending? It's a financial reboot that no one talks about honestly. Today, we're breaking down what bankruptcy really means in the United States, the truth, the lies, and the things they don't want you to know until it's too late. Every year, hundreds of thousands of Americans file for bankruptcy. Some are young adults crushed by credit card bills. Others are families who couldn't keep up with medical expenses. And some are business owners who saw their dreams disappear overnight. On paper, bankruptcy looks like a last resort, a red stamp that says failure. But the truth is, the system was designed to protect people who hit financial rock bottom. It's a legal tool that gives you a fresh start when life hits harder than your savings can handle. That, let's be honest, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. A single medical emergency or job loss can destroy years of progress. And when the debt starts piling up, the stress becomes unbearable. That's when bankruptcy starts to look like the only escape. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all bankruptcies are the same, and choosing the wrong kind can make things even worse. There are two main types of personal bankruptcy in the U.S., Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Chapter 7 is what most people imagine. Your debts are wiped out, your slate is cleaned, and you start fresh. But there's a catch. To qualify, you have to prove you really can't pay your debts. And in some cases, you might lose certain assets like a second car or luxury property. It's fast, usually taking just a few months, but it stays on your credit report for 10 years. Then there's Chapter 13, also known as the Wage Earners Plan. Here, instead of erasing everything, you work out a court-approved plan to repay part of your debt over 3 to 5 years. You keep your assets, your house, your car, but you live under a strict financial plan until the debt is settled. It's less damaging to your credit long-term, but it demands discipline and steady income. Now here's the part that isn't talked about enough. Bankruptcy doesn't erase every kind of debt. Student loans, child support, and certain taxes, those usually stay. And creditors know this. That's why some people file thinking they'll be completely debt-free, only to discover they still owe thousands afterward. It's not a magic reset button. It's a legal process with fine print that most people never read. But let's shift gears. There's a reason why the rich and powerful sometimes file for bankruptcy too. And it's not because they're broke. It's because they understand something most people don't. Bankruptcy is a financial strategy, not just a last resort. Big companies, celebrities, and even former presidents have filed for bankruptcy protection to restructure their debt, protect assets, and come back stronger. They use the same system that ordinary people fear, but they treat it as a tool, not a punishment. This is where the truth gets uncomfortable. The financial system in America punishes small people for using the same laws the rich use to protect themselves. When an average person files, they get labeled irresponsible. But when a billionaire files, it's called restructuring. The difference isn't in the law, it's in the mindset. And let's talk about the aftermath. Filing for bankruptcy can destroy your credit score. Yes, but not forever. Many people start rebuilding within a year. You can still get a secured credit card, start small loans, pay on time, and within a few years, your credit can look healthier than before you filed. Lenders see bankruptcy as a risk, but they also know you can't file again right away, which actually makes you more reliable in some cases. Crazy, right? Another truth no one tells you. The emotional impact is often worse than the financial one. People feel ashamed, embarrassed, even broken. Society treats debt like a personal failure, even though most debt is created by systems, medical costs, inflation, stagnant wages, and rising housing prices. Bankruptcy doesn't make you weak. It means you took action instead of drowning in silence. But here's where it gets tricky. The moment you file, your phone stops ringing. No more calls from debt collectors, no more threats in the mail. That peace feels incredible. But many people stop there, thinking their problems are solved. The real challenge starts after the filing, rebuilding your habits, your mindset, and your understanding of money. Bankruptcy clears your slate, but it doesn't change the behavior that led you there. That's why financial education after bankruptcy is so important, yet so rare. Banks, credit card companies, and lenders don't want you to know that filing for bankruptcy can actually put you in a stronger financial position long term. Why? Because if people understood the system, they'd stop being afraid of it. They'd make smarter choices, negotiate debt, and learn to use credit instead of being used by it. The truth is, bankruptcy isn't a death sentence. It's a rebirth if you treat it that way. Imagine a family buried under $100,000 of credit card debt. They file for Chapter 7. Their debts are erased, and within 12 months they start over, living within their means, saving for emergencies, rebuilding credit step by step. 5 years later, they own a home again, debt-free and wiser. That's not failure. That's evolution. But here's the part that most people never consider. What if bankruptcy is actually part of a larger design? A system that allows people to fall, restart, and keep the economy moving. Every time someone wipes out debt, that money doesn't just vanish. It shifts. Creditors take losses, insurance pays out, and new borrowers fill the gap. Bankruptcy isn't the end of capitalism. It's how capitalism resets itself to SO. The next time you hear someone say bankruptcy ruins lives, remember this. It can also rebuild them. It's not a badge of shame. It's a second chance. The key is what you do after. Learn how to budget. Build an emergency fund. Don't chase status or credit cards. Chase stability. Because financial freedom isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much control you have when things go wrong. Bankruptcy doesn't define your future. Your mindset does. And if you're watching this because debt feels like a monster you can't escape, know this. There's always a way out. The system might be unfair, but knowledge is power. Understand it. Use it. And you can turn your lowest moment into your strongest comeback. If you know someone under debt pressure, share this video. Subscribe for your smart money reset.